Shalom Chaverim. So nice to be with you, albeit virtually. So we're going to get going and be still. We're getting ready for Zman Matan Toratenu. We're getting ready to receive Torah. We're going to be doing a little bit of thoughtful, mindful meditation and some Torah study put together. So right now we're preparing for revelation. What does this mean to get the Torah? And how was the Torah received? And how are the Israelites in the generation of the wilderness? How are they able to prepare themselves? They didn't know what was coming. So I'll just set the scene just a little bit. But first I'd like us to get comfortable with wherever we are. So we're going to settle ourselves. And there's no rights or wrongs in terms of meditation. So you don't have to wonder, am I doing it okay? You don't have to try to control your breathing or anything like that. We're just going to sit still and get going. So first we'll start by taking a few comfortable breaths. I'm settling my feet gently on the floor, about shoulder width apart. I'm not slouching into the chair. But I'm just relaxed and a little bit aware. Could be there's some things going on behind me or things on the outside of my consciousness that are intruding. But I'm just going to take a few minutes now to relax and lean into this time of Zman Matan Toratenu. And the Israelites had been preparing through their difficult labors of slavery for years. They were so ready to have this release, come to serve God instead of a pharaoh, instead of a taskmaster of flesh and blood. They had come through the splitting of the sea. They had seen the signs and wonders. And you would think that on day one, they would come immediately to the wilderness of Sinai. But that wasn't God's plan. Why not? Well, they had been hurt physically, spiritually as well, crushed by the Egyptian hard labors, building, planting. So God summoned his angels and said, let's heal them. Any broken limbs, and they came back to full strength. Let's give them a little bit of succor and sustenance, some water, perhaps from a miraculous well, some manna from heaven, the quail. Let's help to build them up, physically and spiritually as well. No more of the harsh beatings, go fetch your own straw, build my pyramids. No, instead they have a chance to come together to serve God. And they're marching. They're getting closer to the foot of Mount Sinai. So we're setting the scene. I'm going to share with you a midrash about how it sounded. What was the sound of Zman Matan Toratenu like? And the answer is, it sounded like this. It was quiet. You might say, wait, Rabbi, wasn't there fire, thunder, lightning? Wasn't the mountain trembling? The sound of the shofar blasting? Wasn't it with a great tumult? So we're going to look inside. Rabbi Abahu said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, when the Holy One gave the Torah, no bird chirped, no fowl flew, not an ox lowed. There was no mooing of the cows. And not one of the holy Ophanim, not one of those heavenly creatures, stirred a wing. Not even the seraphim were chanting, holy, 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 kadosh, kadosh, kadosh. Above and below, there was total silence. Even nature, the seas, there was no roaring, no creatures speaking. the whole world was hushed in breathless silence. And it was then that God's voice, it came forth. I am the Lord. I am the Lord your God. It's a powerful midrash. It was within that little moment of silence that the whole Torah bloomed. Moshe received the oral and the written Torah there on Sinai. So I'm going to move my text back away, and I want to focus on that midrash. The silence there. It was a pause, ready to burst into full panoply of laws, of customs, of traditions. Our creation as a people, it starts here in this crucible of slavery and then revelation. So I want you to focus on this. We're going to hold this thought, the thought of silence, the sound of silence. We're going to hold on to that thought as we do a little bit of Shavuot meditation. We've been preparing for this day ever since Pesach. We came through Lag BaOmer, and now we're ready, Shavuot. A deep breath. You can close your eyes, or you can keep them open. There will be errant thoughts that come into your head. You can embrace them. You can pick them up and look at them, or push them away. They're your thoughts. No one will take them away. You can return to them if you put them aside a little later. And we're opening ourselves up for Torah. We're opening ourselves up for Bereshit Bara, for the first words of Torah. How will we begin our Shavuot holiday? Will it be with a sweet taste of blintzes? Will it be with the sweet sounds of the Shema? Hear, O Israel. We're one with the children of Israel. We're one with our ancestors who came before us. They said, Na'aseh v'nishma. We will do and we will hear. And the angels put 2 crowns on their heads. Na'aseh v'nishma, one for each. We will do and we will hear. And here we are, and we're listening. Do you feel your blood pressure going down? Is your heart beating perhaps a little more slowly? I don't feel the silence as a weight. I feel it almost like an enveloping, warm blanket. Right now we are doing. But what, Rabbi? We're doing nothing. We're enjoying the sound of silence. Prepare for the Torah to come into our hearts and minds, to help to lift us, to help to give us a steadier foot. It's hard to go back. For example, after we were told to stay at home, social distance, it's hard to re-engage. If you can feel me now, I'm giving you a hug and a kiss, a nishika. We're going to hold each other close, even though I might be in the synagogue and not at home with you. So I'm going to count down quietly with you from 20 to 0 Then we'll just have a few more moments of silence. We have some wonderful Torah planned throughout this series. I hope it fills your hearts as it does mine. Esrim. Eser. Achat. I wonder about the sounds that are starting up again. The sounds of the angels, the sounds of the birds taking wing again, and of the oxen lowing, the sounds of the sea resuming, the crash of the waves against the shore, the sounds of the people trembling with fear and with awe, receiving the Torah in purity, in readiness. Na'aseh v'nishma. Will you sing the Shema together with me? Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.